Coming to you live from our studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is the A1 Trading Daily Show. Whether markets are rising or falling, we're here to keep you up to date with the latest market news. Join us as we trade currencies, commodities, and indices live, Monday through Friday.
Minutes. So I'm going to make this really quick. We are taking a look at the market heat map just to get a quick idea of how all of our assets are trending so far today. And we've actually updated the look just a little bit here. We have the indices up top, which is really nice. So I can see that the US 30 is up 0.39% on the day so far. And the rest of our indices that we track, the rest of our major indices here, are all down on the day. So not a great day for indices. On the currency crosses, however, GBP AUD seems to be our biggest mover to the upside, up 1.15%, followed by GBP JPY, USD ZAR, GBP NZD, GBP CHF, GBP CAD, GBP USD right here as well. So pound pairs seem to be making some moves to the upside so far early on in the day. Down here towards the bottom, Euro GBP down, Aussie US, gold, Aussie CAD, Aussie CHF, Aussie NZD, all moving towards the downside. So pound pairs up, Aussie pairs are down on the day. But we are going to check out some news events here in just a second. I want to really quickly thank our sponsors, 8Cap, Forex Tester, and Super Funded. Thank you so much to those three for sponsoring today's stream. These streams would not be possible without their support. They are awesome sponsors. And if you want to find out more about them, you can do so in the links in the description below. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into this news with Nick. Here we go.
All right, and thank you, James, for that opening. And good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me? We're seeing some chats in the or some messages in the chat that say no sound. Let me make sure everything looks okay and sounds okay. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. We are looking at the market here prior to what we have on the docket this morning, which is, of course, CPI numbers for Canada. And this can be a market moving event. So we decided to jump on the stream here, make a move for those of you guys who are paying attention to CAD pairs. Today is an interesting day for sure. I just wanted to take a quick look across the board as we go into this event. Let me make sure I get our Forex factory pulled up just so we can get some coverage here. So looking at what we have ahead of us, we have CAD CPI coming out in just a matter of a few minutes. And you have CAD CPI numbers, and also another one, a notable one, is retail sales for Canada. So we're getting some economic figures. And if you trade CAD pairs, or if you're just paying attention in general to the markets, this can be an interesting market moving event. So let's talk a little bit about a couple pairs that I'm paying attention to personally. Dollar CAD is going to be probably top of the list. And as we pull back here, I am generally speaking pretty bullish on dollar CAD here. However, we don't know what the news is going to bring and could cause some volatility on some of the CAD pairs. If anything, dollar CAD could actually get just a slight push to the downside here on the news, in which case we may be able to set up some sort of 38.2% retracement buys that could look really attractive based on what we've been discussing on the live streams recently, which is overall dollar bullishness. I have a dollar trade open already, so I won't go too far into that because we only have a few minutes before the Canadian dollar news drops. But a couple ideas that I wanted to talk briefly about is this dollar CAD idea, right? A pullback potentially. If it forms on the news candle, I'm interested in possibly getting long there. And again, we'll have to see what the news brings. But dollar CAD getting a nice overall bullish bias on the edge finder, scoring high in areas like the commitment of traders data, retail sentiment, seasonality. The trend is to the upside, GDP growth, unemployment, and interest rates, favoring the dollar over the Canadian dollar. And I won't lie, the overall bias seems to be pretty dang bearish on CAD pairs. You've got CAD Swiss as a possible sell, so maybe we should pull up CAD CHF here for a moment. prior to the news. And again, CAD CHF trending to the downside. Here is a 1 hour chart view. You can see pushing a little bit up prior to the news event here today. But you have to sort of ask yourself, well, what's the overall trend? And you have this sort of downward structure that looks definitely pretty sell heavy for the time being. So as price pulls back and you're looking at this thing off of the lower time frames, I'm actually going to jump up to a 2 hour chart because I think this looks the easiest to understand. You've got price pulling back up into the 50% retracement zone here. And I don't advocate for trading right before the news event. I'm using this event sort of as a catalyst for some volatility that could make for some interesting trading setups. But as CAD CPI numbers come out in about 4 minutes, we'll be watching several of the different CAD pairs. CAD CHF, again, the 50% retracement looks pretty interesting here. You've got a support level that broke to the downside and now is being retested on the news. We'll have to watch to see what the numbers come out. And if anything changes on the release of that news, we'll cover that together here. So don't go anywhere on that. I'll show you guys just one position that I'm in, which probably will not be impacted too heavily by the news. I'm long USDJPY. I say it probably won't. You never know these days with the Forex market being so sort of jumpy. However, dollar yen, I am long on. And that brings me to another one, CADJPY, which, is really quite a strong chart here today. It's looking really bullish. And you've got, to be fair to the bears, you do have it retesting the highs. But overall, we've had a really impressive run up on something like CADJPY. And if anything, I don't think that this one is on the watch list at this time, but it's probably somewhere near. Let's go to the neutral for a second, just see what's going on. So yeah, CAD yen neutral, almost in the plus, the positive category, but not quite there. Despite that, yen pairs on a pullback would be interesting to me. But not really the focus of today's stream. Specific to CAD pairs, CAD CHF on the sell side, dollar CAD on the buy side, and also one that we should notice is Euro CAD on the sell side as well. Again, we've got 2 minutes before the spike potentially happens here on CAD crosses. So I'm going to do a little bit more coverage here, and then we'll watch the reaction. So overall, we've talked Euro CAD. I've been pretty bearish on this pair, although I did not play it correctly, or I guess I didn't play it very well in hindsight here. You can see I took a sell trade here and unfortunately was stopped out in the entry there. So I was a bit too early on my idea. Despite that, though, EuroCAD now showing some sell-off. We broke this sort of upward structure to the downside. And so for those of you who are maybe trading this a little bit lower time frame, there may be something to be said for retest sells. So you kind of had this upward trajectory on EuroCAD that broke. And so maybe a retest of resistance could be of interest. And again, guys, we've got 1 minute until the event. So I'm going to pause here in just a second. We'll watch the spike and see if there's anything of notable interest. And then we'll go from there. Guys, if you have any CAD pairs specifically that you would like me to pull up, please do me a favor and drop them in the chat. Just comment them. And while you're at it, if you're enjoying the shows, if you like the content, if the content is helpful to you in any way in your trading journey, help us out. Take half a second, hit that thumbs up button down below. We've got 30 seconds until the news event. I do like EuroCAD on a pullback. So if price pulls back here today, this is actually a setup that I really like. So EuroCAD up at that 50% to 61.8% retracement. If you get a squeeze up there on the news, that will be interesting for sure. So we'll pull up USDCAD for those of you guys watching it. I know this one, of course, is probably one of the more popular ones. Let's drop down to the 15-minute chart just to see if we can see a spike. We've got a few seconds here to go. And let's see if anything notable happens with CPI here for Canada. All right, a bit of a spike to the upside there. Look at that, dollar CAD shooting up here, and wow, what a spike! What is that on the 15-minute candle? That's 25 pips, pretty quick. That's a jump off of this support zone. So dollar CAD bulls, congrats. That's looking really strong so far. You've got dollar CAD. Is that moving? I'm going to be selfish here for a second and just look at dollar yen. Any movement for my dollar yen trade? Not really. However, that Euro CAD trade might actually be setting up. Look at this, guys. Check it out. We might be taking a trade here on EuroCAD on the sell side. I'd like to see how this candle closes, but we're going to watch this together. So again, going over this concept now that we're right back to EuroCAD, we talked about basically price breaking to the downside here recently, right? Big push, but now pulling right back up into that level of resistance. And, because it's a new spike, I'm not going to trade directly off of this. But as we retest this 61.8%, this 50% zone that I just got done talking about, if sellers are strong here, we would expect some reaction. So we'll watch this candle and see how things go from here. But overall, a big spike to the upside there here for us on Euro CAD, and CAD pairs across the board here, making some moves. Pretty quick there. USD CAD is flying. Yeah, USD CAD made a jump there. Let's see if it can hold those gains. That's going to be the question. If you're looking at it off the 4-hour chart, um, yeah, the edge finder was bullish on this thing. I didn't want to take the trade before news. So, because I find that to be sort of more of a gamble than anything else. I don't like to trade prior to the news, but the aftermath can be really, really great. Let's take a look and see what we've got for the numbers here, you guys. We're pulling up CAD CPI numbers came out at 0.5% compared to the expected 0.7%. CPI number, median CPI 5% compared to 4.9, trimmed CPI 5.1 compared to 5.2. So it seems like overall a little bit of a disappointing number. Not to mention that retail sales numbers, common CPI, core retail sales. These numbers came out a bit disappointing here today, with comparing a minus 0.1% when in actuality came out at minus 0.6% for retail sales for Canada. So a little bit of disappointing numbers there for Canada. Now, of course. Inflation being lower is in some ways good for certain things, but also in terms of the Canadian dollar specifically, lower than expected inflation numbers are going to put less pressure on the Bank of Canada to do certain things like raise interest rates as fast, and can cause the Canadian dollar to be a bit weaker. So Euro CAD, again, we keep coming back to this one because I like it off the 1-hour chart. Though I'm liking it less because it didn't hold this level very well. I was expecting some sort of spike into this area and rejection, which, to be fair, it's not over, right? This spike could sort of reverse and we could wick into this zone. I'd be still happy to potentially take the aftermath trade there if something like that can set up. Just going to be selfish looking at my dollar yen trade going off of this, and not too much volatility. I was curious to see if there would be any sort of spike or sympathy move due to the Canadian news. Did not see much there, which is fine by me. We continue to just hold on to that swing trade. That was a trading signal shared within our Discord channel. If you're not inside of our Discord channel, check it out. You can join it. We're going to drop a link in the chat right now. If you guys would like to join the free Discord channel, inside of the free section, you get access to daily ideas, news coverage, market analysis, some downloadable PDFs, some trading strategy guides, all sorts of stuff. And it is genuinely, there is 100% free value in our Discord. So if you'd like to check that out, we just dropped the link in the chat. My support team here behind the scenes just dropped that for you. Click that link, fill out the form, and you'll be sent to the Discord channel where you get lots of helpful free stuff. So don't miss out on that. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with the dollar yen trade. I like that Euro CAD trade, but again, it's gotta form a wick here, and if it doesn't form a wick, I'm just gonna leave it, because I want to see this thing. Understandably, this is a big spike to the upside. I want to see some sort of rejection, right? I don't want to see this thing just sort of fly back up without any hesitation. I want to see some pause. I want to see some rejection there. EuroCAD on the 4-hour chart. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, this thing to me put in this lower high, right? It's been trending to the downside on the higher time frames off the daily chart, etc. Here's your daily view, right? And you can kind of see we've broken back. We had this upward trend, fell apart here, and now looking to see if we can put in another lower high. And I think part of the reason for that, guys, is that if you're looking at this thing, if you do catch this reversal, if this breakout actually lasts, and right now it's not looking too hot, if this breakout actually lasts and you roll over here and you do in fact catch that next lower high, you have a lot of potential there to make some really great risk to reward trades. So that's kind of why I have my eye on it, but I'm not loving the way this price action is forming so far. So I'm going to be pretty hesitant on EuroCAD. Yash, thank you very much for the 40 rupees, my friend. I really appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. Euro NZD. Sure, you got it. Let's take a look at Euro NZD here for you. The Euro NZD, wow, this one's actually doing pretty strong right now. It's going pretty well for the bulls. Here's my thoughts on this one. Let me check and see if this one's on the edge finder. I don't think it is. Nope. So I don't really have any. So when I take a trade, and this is sort of a good lesson for anybody watching, if you're newer to the streams, when I take trades, what I do is I look for the three components. I talk about them so often. If you're a regular viewer, then you already know what I'm about to say. If you know what I'm about to say, comment it in the chat really quick. What are the three components that I look for when regarding trying to find entries and exits? The first one is pretty obvious. It's technical analysis, right? This is what everybody uses. Every retail trader, including myself, we all love our charts. We all love to pull up the chart and look at candlestick patterns, etc. The next one is fundamental analysis. And this is understanding exactly why we're having today's stream. Why did the news just spike? It's because the news matters. The news is the fundamental factors that drive the markets higher and lower. We had CPI numbers for Canada come out, which is, of course, going to drive the markets. And is notable. Yeah, look, thank you very much, Ashutosh. That's awesome. You've got the three real quick. This is Trading also has it too. You guys are awesome. I love to see it. I love to see people sort of appreciating the three tiers, if you will. The next one is sentiment analysis. Okay. And this is understanding what institutional traders are doing, professional level traders. What are they buying? What are they selling? And we have that data within the Edge Finder. So when we combine all of these, we get a full picture as each asset, or what each asset is likely to do according to the strategy. And so when I look at this, if one of the currency pairs that we talk about is not in sort of the bias of strong buy or strong sell or something like that, then I probably am not going to actually end up taking a trade in it. So even though Euro NZD, we could still look at the chart for you, I don't actually have any intention in taking a trade because it doesn't have any strong bias on the Edge Finder, meaning we're missing the fundamental analysis components to tell us to buy or sell, and the sentiment analysis components to tell us to buy or sell. I hope that makes sense. We go over it every day in the stream. So if you're new here, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. We'll go over the chart real quick. Euro NZD overall looks bullish in terms of a chart perspective. You've got higher lows, higher highs. The technicals look strong, but because we don't have any sort of confirmation on the fundamentals and sentiment side, I'm going to avoid actually taking any sort of trades here. So there you go. That's my opinion on it. Pound USD. We'll pull up some other ones now that the CAD news is behind us a bit. Look at that 61.8% retracement coming back into play. And what a spike there. The pound coming in strong here this morning. To be fair, we talked a lot about this pound USD idea. On the sell side, when we pulled up the chart, you could see I had this red zone marked. For those of you who are watching pound USD, I've mentioned that I am bearish on this currency pair. And again, this is a great example of what we just got done discussing with our three pillars of analysis. Okay, so let's talk about our three pillars really quick. The technicals look bearish, right? So again, let's do this together. So technical analysis looks bearish, right? What do fundamentals and sentiment tell us? Let's go look. How do we look? We just pull up the data right here. Let's go look at pound USD. And we're going to build our bias here. This is how we understand. Okay, well, COT data. So the commitment of traders data is showing us that institutional money, this falls under sentiment analysis. The dollar is bullish by institutional money, and the pound is bearish by institutional money. What does that tell us about the pound USD? Sentiment analysis, bearish, right? Keep it simple. Big money, short. Okay, cool. Retail money mixed doesn't give us any insight. Fair enough. Sentiment analysis overall here, bearish. Okay, finally, what's the last category? We need to account for our fundamental bias. And in all four categories, we get favoritism towards the US dollar. Okay, GDP growth more favorable in the US, inflation more favorable in the US, unemployment more favorable in the US, interest rates more favorable for the US dollar. All of them pointing towards a sell bias on the pound USD. All three categories, guys, giving us a sell bias. Okay. That's how we use the Edge Finder. That's why so many people are using the Edge Finder. And if you don't have it, real quick, we're going to drop a link in the chat. We have a free version of this software that I'm using right now available. It is limited. I'm giving you the upfront. It is a limited version, but if you want to try it out, download or get access to the free version of the Edge Finder. We're going to drop that link in the chat for you. So just click that link, fill out the form, and you'll get sent instructions on how you can access this report. It's a cloud-based product, so just from anywhere on your Google, you can pull this up. It's really easy to use. So now that we have our ideas, now that we have our 3 pillars discussed, again, most traders only look at this. They only look at the chart and they miss completely the other components. So that's why when we do our analysis here on the streams, I try and give you guys my full picture, the 3 tiers, if you will. So I am bearish on the pound, but preferably at like a 61.8% retracement. And at that point, again, now that we have the bias, we still have to form the technical setups, the entries, the exits. We still have to do the other hard work that we have to do, right? So we're looking for entries. Now, I don't necessarily love the idea of shorting the pound USD personally. Now, I like this trade idea. Don't get me wrong. The only reason I'm saying I don't like taking it myself right now is because I already have USDJPY, which is a correlated asset. We already have the dollar long here. So if I short the pound USD, that's like taking another dollar long trade. So I don't need to take $2 long trades. However, I like pound USD on the short side. And if I didn't have a trade open already on the dollar, I'd be very interested or keen to potentially even selling the pound USD up in this level. Now, this is my opinion. Let me disclaim that I'm not here to tell you what to do with your trading account. I'm sharing my thoughts, my opinions here. And like I said, I like the pound USD short. It meets my criteria for my trading style. This is my trading style. This is not, what I'm telling you is the right way of trading, right? This is just what works for me, what I've done for years, and what I'll continue to do. So, why is pound USD bullish? That's a good question. I think we may have gotten some UK news. Did we get some UK news? Yeah, we had so we had PMI numbers come out and they were hotter than expected, causing the pound to rally up a little bit. But again, when we talk about the dollar, I think the dollar is more in play overall. So as we go into the Fed meeting tomorrow, right? Big news. I think the dollar play is going to become more apparent. And I think personally, the pound should see some pull to the downside there prior to the news event, as the dollar's been pretty strong recently. Hawkishness has sort of resurfaced a little bit for the Federal Reserve, at least concerns from investors, from traders. Hawkishness from the Fed could cause this pound USD pair to move lower. So that would be my take on it. Now, again, like I said, I can be wrong often. I talk about this on every stream. Just because someone has an opinion online does not mean you could take trades based on it, right? This is my thought. This is my opinion. I like to say that because I don't want anybody just, YOLOing into a trade just because you heard so-and-so talking about it. Do your own due diligence, have your own trading strategies, put in the hard work. Otherwise you won't make it in this stuff. It is the rule of the land, basically. Overall downtrend. I like pound USD short. We'll see if that idea plays out. GBP news ruined my trades. LOL. Oh well. Yeah, sometimes news does that to you, man. It happens to the best of us. I just moved my stop loss, knowing that I just mentioned, right, the Federal Reserve news that's coming out tomorrow. I just moved my stop loss on USDJPY, which is this trade I've got open. I just moved that stop loss to a little bit better than break even. I shared that alert inside of the group this morning. Just said we had a strong rally on USDJPY this morning. I'm moving my stop loss to break even. I should have clarified, and this is my fault. If you guys are a VIP member, I'm just going to add this little piece of text to this. I'm moving my stop loss to break even prior to tomorrow's Federal Reserve meeting, which is likely to cause some volatility on USD pairs. So that's my fault. For those of you guys inside of the group, I just added a little bit more context as to why I chose to do that. So I chose to move my stop loss in the signals group to break even on USDJPY. And like I said, the reason for that is because we have big news tomorrow. I'm expecting some volatility, and I don't want to sort of have this trade that's going very well. If everything changes tomorrow, I don't want to be suddenly in a losing trade. So in the worst case, I'll take a break-even trade and just walk away with $100. So yes, of course, that's not the ideal scenario. The best case scenario would be, we fly through the highs and this, that, and the other. But this is the market. The market is not 100% predictable. We have to sort of react to what's given to us rather than the other way around. Tomorrow is so we have tomorrow, which we will be live for this, by the way, guys. We're going to be doing the FOMC meeting minutes together here on camera. 8 times a year, 3 weeks after the federal funds rate is announced. It's a detailed record of the FOMC's most recent meeting, providing in-depth insights into the economic and financial conditions that influence their vote. Unless set interest rates. It's all about the interest rate, right? That's what we're going to be paying attention to tomorrow with that. And of course, we can talk a little bit about gold here. But before we do, we're gonna take a second here to pause and hear from some one of our sponsors. We have a really cool announcement. We're doing a competition, and I won't say too much about it because we put together this awesome video. Check out the video right here.
Think you have what it takes to win $1,000? We've partnered up with 8 Think you have what it takes to win $1,000? We've partnered up with 8cap to offer our community a trading competition with a grand prize of $1,000. Whoever gains the most return on a demo account throughout the month of March is the winner. All you have to do is register by February 28th. But wait, there's more. The second place winner gets $500 and third place gets $300. There are plenty of opportunities to win. Again, registration closes on February 28th, so be sure to enter right away. You have the entire month of March to gain as much return as possible on a demo account. Plus, it's a great way to test your strategy and your skills against other members of the trading community. You can find out more by clicking the link down in the description below, and feel free to contact us with any questions that you might have. Good luck.
So guys, our competition with 8cap is here. Man, we've had that in the works together for a little while, and I'm so excited that we're doing that. It's going to be really, really fun. It is a free to join trading competition, and they are handing out some serious cash prizes. So don't miss out on that. As you saw, James gave us that little rundown on the upcoming event. Don't miss registration. And real quick, for those of you guys who are interested in joining that competition, here's the link. We'll drop the link in the chat. And guys on the producer side, if you need that link, it's in the video that James put out on the A1 Trading channel. So you can grab that link if you want. Drop it in the chat for us if you guys don't mind, so that people can join the competition. Like I said, it's free to join, and you get the chance to with joining if you end up winning. I think there's like $1,000 for first prize and all sorts of awesome prizes. So yeah. Oh, sorry. Was the sound loud? I'm sorry, guys. That's on us. We got that. We're still learning this streaming software, and sound is difficult. I don't know if any of you guys are musicians or producers or make videos or audio or anything. Sound is one of the trickiest parts about all this stuff. Anyways, let's move on to our gold here. And while we wait for that link in the chat, we'll go over gold and talk a little bit about the recent price action on gold. So I've been pretty bearish on gold recently. However, it fell off the edge finder again. So when pulling up the commodities, go under gold, gold is no longer in the sell rating. So I have nothing here to do. I can't take the sell. I don't have a buy trade. If anything, one thing that's keeping us from really entering this trade, and this is why we take full picture into account. I'll show you guys this on the seasonality chart so you can get a full picture. Gold here, let's see, where is gold? There it is. So gold in the months of February in the last 10 years, which of course is this month, has actually been positive. And so this is going against us, right? Seasonality wise, bullishness on gold sort of has persisted in the last 10 years on average. And so has it in March. So January, February, March, historically in the last 10 years have been positive months for gold. Whereas we sort of taper off and we go negative slightly for the summer months, and then we're sort of back to positive and then negative again. So this is just the overall seasonality month to month of gold. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the reasons why we're sort of not getting a very high or low score currently on the gold market, and why we don't have any bias to actually take trades. Again, remember, when I take trades, it's the three, right? Technicals, fundamentals, and sentiment. And seasonality sort of falls under the fundamentals category. So we're getting that bearish fundamental reading. Not only that, when we take a look at gold, one of the things that's holding me back from being short biased on the fundamental side is, look over here. You have several categories: inflation, unemployment, interest rates being high, money supply. These things are keeping me sort of on edge on the bearish side of gold. But again, because we have that mixed seasonality giving us a bullish reading, there's not enough here. And that's the point. It's okay as a trader to sort of learn to disqualify trades well. It's better, in my experience, in my opinion, it's better to disqualify yourself from trades often than not often enough, right? You need to be avoiding trades that don't meet your criteria. And so for me, gold has no bias. There's no trades for me on gold. I don't have enough here to work with, at least according to my strategy. I'm not saying you can't possibly have a trade open. If you have a different strategy than myself, which many people do, right? Everybody has a slightly different strategy. Just for me personally, gold does not have enough here for me to take. So Anand says sell gold, Nick. Nope, I just went over that. I'm not looking to actually short gold personally. I like the technical chart, but I don't like there's just not enough on the fundamental side. August and December seem to be the best buy times on your edge finder. You're talking about just seasonality on gold. So December and August and January. Yeah, that's just reading the seasonality chart. Like I said, the seasonality chart, this is available to people who have Edgefinder Pro. If you don't have Edgefinder Pro, you can find out information in the description. Or if you guys just want to get the free version of the Edgefinder, we dropped it earlier in the chat, but we'll drop it one more time in case you missed that link. Get access to the Edgefinder free version, now available. We just finished that product. It is now available for everybody. So check it out. It is limited. Please understand, we've had a lot of people getting mad at us because the free version is limited, but understand that these things are very, very expensive to build. Multiple six figures have been invested in our software. I share that publicly because I think it's, just so you understand, people will complain, that our prices are our software costs money. And it's like, well, we spend thousands a day on it. So it's one of those things. Let's keep going. I want to talk a little bit USDJPY here. This is a trade, like I said, that I'm still in myself. We can zoom in here a little bit and cover this one. My thought for those of you who are watching this with me, if you're watching UJ rally here, I don't want to get ahead of myself with this trade. My goal is to see if we can get back to the highs. And more importantly, if we can actually break and put in a higher low, that's going to be the catalyst right there that allows me to really lock in a profit on this trade. Currently, we're still just sort of floating around. Yes, we've had a nice push off the entry, but it's not enough for me to really lock in a profit because I don't want to squeeze, I don't want to tighten too heavily on this. I want to see if this thing can have the strength, have the legs to get back above the top there. Yeah. Need more TikToks? Oh, you want some more TikTok reaction videos? We've been having fun with those, man. Those are always a blast to film, and Chandler, who edits those videos, he finds them very funny as well. We have a good time with those, so you can bet on those coming back. Don't worry. EuroCAD looking good. Let's go look. EuroCAD. Yeah, look at that rejection. Very, very good rejection there. Pretty close to the candle closing. Wow, what a move there to the downside after that poke up. Let's go consult here really quick. So minor currency pairs, EuroCAD. We're gonna pull this one up real quick. So EuroCAD gets a sell bias. For those of you guys who are interested in seasonality, hopefully you can see this. I know it's a little bit small on your screen. February, a slight decline month for the EuroCAD. So that's giving us a bias to the downside. You can see right here, seasonality, -1. Bearishness in that category. COT goes against us. That one is sort of holding us back. Institutional money is more long the Canadian dollar than the euro. However, retail sentiment is also showing us something a little bit sketchy. We have 67% of retail traders short. So I'm a bit hesitant based on seasonality. Sentiment analysis, though what outweighs it to me right now, what may make it worth still a small trade here, is the fundamentals look really strong for favoring the CAD right now. So we get -1 in all 4 categories under economic data. So yeah. How would you enter USDCAD? Looks very good for a buy with CAD news and dollar bullishness. Good question. Dollar CAD. I like I said, I wouldn't enter it because I already have that dollar yen trade open. But if I didn't have dollar yen and I was interested in dollar CAD, the zone was here, right? I know that's frustrating in hindsight. The trade may have been missed. If it doubles back, if it pulls back here, maybe there's something there. But yeah, it's sort of already exploded off this level. So this is the only zone I really see that I like as a swing trader. Maybe as a day trader, maybe there's something else you see. USDCAD probably only on a retest. Look at that. So 61.8 coming back into play. EuroCAD 61.8 looks decent. If I was to take this trade, let's see, where's stop loss going? I could probably swing this at 30 pips away. We've got a couple minutes left on the candle, so I'm just going to sit here and keep an eye on this. So EuroCAD 4-hour chart, downward trend, broke out to the downside. I mean, I like this trade. I just want to see how the candle closes. Just because with news, the spike can be pretty intense, of course, and then the aftermath can sort of take a bit of time to calm down, but it's looking pretty good. So I don't mind this trade. I'm going to probably take this on small size if I take it. So bear with me. You know what? Let me see. Okay. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm going to just take this trade on a small size. Stop loss a bit wide here. I'm going to go probably 35 pips. 35 pips to the downside. I'm sorry, to the upside, 35 pips. I'm just going to risk 400 on this because I already have a trade open. I'm going to keep this one really small. Okay, so EuroCAD is what I'm looking at. Yeah, and that's looking good with just a couple minutes left on the candle. I'm going to go ahead and take that one. Stop loss above the highs. Okay, I'm going to sell that. Okay. All right, I put it on my mirrored account really quick, and let's go ahead and set this trade up. All right. So now what I'm doing, just give me a minute here as I'm going to be sharing this trade alert with members. So now it's going to be my second trade open. Fortunately, the reason I'm taking this trade is because it doesn't have the US dollar in it. So I'm not doubling up on any USD trades right now. I already have my dollar yen trade, which is floating in profit. Share the screenshot on the Edge Finder. Okay. Okay. Got the pictures in there. Everything looking nice. Cool, cool, cool. All right. After CAD, CPI news. EuroCAD here on the sell side. This broken, retested level of resistance, broken support of resistance. Stop loss is above the spike highs in case markets rallies higher. Let's see. Finder bias is to the downside, primarily due to economic numbers favoring CAD over euro. Time, all four categories: GDP, unemployment, inflation, interest rates. Okay. Downtrend. Potential downtrend, I should say. Potential downtrend forming. Okay, so that trade is out. So full picture, let me make sure I just hide that. There we go. That should be good to go. Trade alert is out if you're inside of the group. Just take a look at Nick's trades. You'll be able to see that there. And we'll go from there. Okay, what time? It is time for us to hand off the show. We've got a guest taking over here. Mr. Tom is going to join me here in just a moment. I'll say hi to Tom. Hey, Tom, what's going on, man?
Hi, Nick. How are you, mate? I'm good, thanks.
Good to have you back on the stream. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
We had just some Canadian news, which caused some volatility there, a little bit of a spike there with CPI being lower than expected in Canada. I'm curious to see maybe as you take over the stream here for a little bit, if you could go over some Canadian dollar pairs for us, if you have any in mind, if you have a favorite, that would be awesome to see your thoughts on that. And however you'd like to take it, you're a regular on the stream. So what we'll do here is I'll hand off the stream to you. But before I do, let me remind people to go check out your channel. We've got a link in the chat going to drop there for you in case people would like to check it out there. So Tom, have a great stream. Thank you for coming on, man.
Thanks, Nick. Cheers, mate. See ya. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. I say good evening. Good morning. How are you guys? Let's take a look at a bit of Canadian dollar aftermath after that news. Like I say, guys, I'm with you for about half an hour. So if you've got any questions, maybe you're in a trade, maybe money management, psychology, whatever you like, guys, ask me a question and I'll answer as many as I can in the time I have. All right. And yeah, my name's Tom. I'm from Simply Forex. So check out the channel. Funnily enough, Nick, the one I am looking at was Euro Canadian dollar. Okay, so because of this, there was these two grey zones that I had penciled in today. Okay, so if price had stayed broken of this grey zone here, okay, then potentially I was looking for buys up to these highs. Or if price broke these lows, then potentially I was looking for shorts down to let's take a look, down to these lows here, potentially back down to the daily lows. This blue line was a potential target, guys. But the news has made things a little bit crazy. Yeah. So for me, guys, I tend to stay out of, CPI data. I mean, the pound earlier on, that reacted crazily to all the PMI data. So, well, let's see what price does around this high here. If this holds, then, potentially we have room to the downside, exactly as Nick described. But if we get a break of this high, then, I wouldn't trade it just yet, but this was a potential trade that we were looking at as part of my channel. But I like to wait for news to come out, let news settle, get back into some kind of rhythm, and then I can start trading it, guys. So perhaps another hour or two, I will start looking at Euro Canadian dollar pairs. Let's take a quick look at another CAD pair. I know CAD yen's coming off some highs. Yeah, so we had these. If you look here, guys, we had, it was coming off more H4 highs. So we've had a very bearish reaction, at these H4 highs, guys. So again, let's wait for the dust to settle. I mean, I'm generally only looking for longs on the yen pairs at the moment, okay? And price was coming up nicely, okay, to potentially look for some more longs. But again, this news has really driven price down. So let's wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see what happens at this grey zone, or even potentially back down to these lows, as I would still be looking for longs on this pair. Okay, so let's wait for the dust to settle on those CAD pairs. Okay, Ivan Drago, as I'm also known, Ivan Drago or Tom, I answer to either. Okay, so that was so Jafar, you would like to look at gold. All right, so let's take a look at gold, guys. Where is it? You Are Gold. Who remembers that song? I'm showing my age. Okay, so yeah, gold for me. Let's do a bit of a top-down approach, guys. I suggest you do the same every time you look at the charts. Sort of start on the higher time frames and work your way back. So yeah, we've clearly got an area of resistance through here, guys. This grey zone, price has reacted in here, in here, in here, and in here. So this grey zone was an area of interest for me. Okay. So if I zoom back in now, you can see we've also had a very bullish candle that bounced off of this potential resistance. All right. So, this tells us that buyers are entering this market. Yeah, that candle alone tells us buyers are coming in at this level. Okay. We are against trend. Yeah. Trend is clearly in a downtrend. Okay. On the day chart. So we're in a downtrend, but we have got this area of resistance. So potentially, I think we can look for buys, potentially back up to these last lows here, or even aim for the moving average 20. Okay, these would be my targets. If we drop down to the H4 now, like I say, guys, look at every time frame. Every time frame gives you a little bit more information. So why not look at them? Yeah, it's like reading a book. You're not going to read page 6 and page 94 and conclude the book. Read all of the pages. So what are we seeing here? So for me, guys, to have a very less risky trade, I would be looking for a break of H4 structure. Okay, because this last high here has held. Okay, so I would like to see a break of this structure, then a retest, and then we could potentially take price higher. Okay, this is a very safe trade, if you like. If we were more risky and wanted to get into the trade a little bit earlier, we could draw a fib level here. So if we draw the fib level, yeah, from this low, this high, this 0.5 area, as we all know, guys, is a very good area to enter this trade. So, this could also be a potential area that we could start buying from. So yeah, only looking for longs for me. Yeah, less risky would be a break of this H4 and then we go up. Or we could start trading off this, 0.5 fib. Okay. Also, guys, what I like to see in my trades is I like to be with H1 structure. So this is beautiful for me, yeah, because if price stays as it is, because price has been coming down in a H1 structure, okay, and it hasn't made lower lows. So if I see this on the H1, it's not making lower lows, and my idea is to buy this pair. As soon as I get a break of this last high here, yeah, so if this candle here stays broke above this last high, then for me, the structure of the H1 trend has changed. Okay, so then, if we get something like this, we can then start buying this pair. Okay, so yeah, this supports the idea to buy this pair. If this structure break continues, then yeah, potentially it could be a good buy on gold. Yeah, as we speak, we need to let this hourly candle finish. But yeah, if we get something like this, yeah, I'm in around here. Okay, guys, so that's gold. I hope that helps you with gold. What else? We've got so many questions, guys. What's the okay? Aussie dollar, US dollar. So I've answered gold, guys. Let's have a look at a couple of the dollar pairs. All right, so Aussie dollar, US dollar is something I'm looking at right now. Okay, so let's take a look at Aussie dollar, US dollar. Right, guys, let's remove this. So let's start with the day chart. All right, so this larger gray zone, yeah, here is obviously, yeah, this gray zone here is obviously an area of potential resistance. Okay, price has reacted here, 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 and here. Yeah, if price reacts historically at a level, chances are it will react at that level again. Sure enough, if we zoom in Yeah, you can see price has already reacted. So price has reacted with this large rejection wick. I know it's a red candle, but again, there are buyers sitting in here. Buyers are buying this market up. And we had that followed by a bullish candle. Not super bullish, but a bullish candle. So potentially, yeah, we have some room to the upside. Okay. Again, sometimes the moving average 20 is a potential target. Or back to these highs here. But again, let's drop down to the lower time frames. And again, let's paint a bigger picture of what we're seeing. So that H4 candle right now does not fill me with confidence to start buying this pair. Yeah, I pay a lot of attention to the candles and what they're telling me, guys. And that candle, it doesn't get any more bearish. However, I do have a grey zone here that I mapped out previously. Okay. So these grey zones, guys, I map these out as part of my channel every day. Yeah, and these are potential trade areas where we can buy or sell the market. So if you're interested and would like to receive these grey zones every day and my trade ideas, then join my channel, guys. The link is in the live chat. Yeah, we would love to have you. So, yeah, what I was seeing was this, guys. So we've had a bit of a, I was seeing this in terms of a H4 downtrend. We've sort of broken out of this channel, yeah, and then what was once support here, once it breaks out of this channel and comes back to this level, yeah, is potentially a good area for buys, back up to this level. My first target is always the last H4 or H1 high, depending on what time frame you're entering. Okay, but yeah, so this is what I'm seeing in terms of structure. But in these grey zones, guys, I want to see a reaction. And to be fair, we did have a reaction on the H4. This wick rejected this level. Yeah, but we've had that followed by a very bullish candle. Okay, so let's drop down to the H1 to see if we can sort of fathom a trade here. All right. So guys, like I say, I like to be with H1 structure. What I would like to see, yeah, so price was in an uptrend, okay? And then price has been breaking down, okay? So what do I want to see now in this grey zone? I want to see buyers start entering the market, yeah, perhaps push it back up, yeah, maybe a bit of this price action, and then we get a break. Yeah, once we get a break of the H1 structure, I am all over this. Like, I don't know, but I am all over this, yeah, and I will long this pair, okay? But I need to see that structure change, yeah? I like to be with H1 structure, guys. So once that structure changes, yeah, I have potential trades to the upside. All right, so I hope that helps you with Aussie dollar, US dollar. What else are we looking at? Okay, I've answered gold. Okay, US dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay, so a couple of people want to look at that, guys. So let's look at US dollar, Canadian dollar. Let's find it. So obviously, guys, we've just had news, yeah? And that has given the Canadian dollar a lot of weakness, okay? The Canadian dollar is weak right now, okay? But what were we seeing before this? So US dollar, Canadian dollar was a short idea, to be honest. Yeah. Once price come up into this grey zone, like a lot of the US dollar majors, they're all in an important area of resistance in this case, or support. They're at very important levels. So what do I want to see? Well, before this news, it was coming down nicely. Yeah, we had a huge rejection wick followed by a bearish candle. So sellers, yeah, pushed this wick back down and we had this bearish candle. Okay, so for me, guys, I was looking for shorts. Yeah, but this news, has put a bit of a different perplexion on it. Okay, but let's have a look. Let's drop down. Yeah, and the idea because of this was, to take price potentially down to these lows here. Okay. Let's take a look at what we're seeing on the H4. Okay, so this blue line in here, yeah, is basically an important, yeah, this zone through here. Okay, so it's proven to be an important area for the H4, yeah, because price is in a upward structure on the on the H4, and now price is still pushing it back up towards these levels. All right. So when price comes back up to these levels, we've got a decision to make. Yeah, we can be aggressive with this trade, all right, and start trading it in here. Yeah, if we get a bearish candlestick pattern, we can start shorting this. So that is quite, you know, like I say, if we come back up to here and start shorting this from here, this is quite an aggressive trade because we are against H4 trend. Yeah. Whereas if we get this instead, I would be looking for potentially a break of this area, this last high and this support. If I start getting a break of this level, then I am going to short the living daylights out of this pair. All right. This would be my first target. Yeah. And usually, guys, at my first target, I close 80% of the trade because that's how I roll. And then I'll just let 20% run for about 12 years. Okay. I'm exaggerating. It won't be 12 years, but you get the gist. Because I took some profit, it makes it easier for me to let that 20% run. So yeah, that's what I want to see, guys, a breakdown in this structure. Then I'm still looking for shorts. If we get a break of this high, then yeah, no longer interested in shorts. Yeah, we would be potentially looking for buys then, because we would even have a break in daily structure. Okay, so that's US dollar, Canadian dollar. What else would you like to look at? Yeah, so Fidget Runner. I love your name, Fidget Runner. Like I say, yeah, if it does break that level, you know, there's always potential for it to break the level, but we wait for the market to break it. We don't trade thinking that it will break that level. We wait for it to break, then we trade. All right, but it could break that high. Right, next question. Pound yen. Thinking of shorting after enjoying the green ride up today. Well, that green ride up on the pound was a lot to do with the news. All right, so yes, this was my higher time frame target. Okay, this blue line. All right, so we hit that earlier. Let's look at the day chart. So yeah, this again, yeah, pound yen is potentially at an interesting level in terms of this area of resistance. All right. You know, could it go further into this gray zone? Yeah, of course it could. Yeah, it could go further. And then, you know, depending on how price reacts in this gray zone, we could then potentially look for shorts. I wouldn't just short this pair now. Yeah, everything about this pair is saying long. Yeah, if you just look at daily structure, yeah, it's saying long me, buy me, buy me, buy me. Yeah, that's what it's saying. It's saying buy me. If we drop down to the H4 chart, it's saying, okay, it's not necessarily saying buy me, but it is in an uptrend. Okay, but it's very overbought. Yeah, because look how far away it is from the moving average 20. Yeah, I don't really use oscillators, guys. I can tell that is overbought. All right, and then let's look at the H1. All right, so we're seeing a bit of a reaction currently, yeah, on the H1. It's hit our grey zone and our target, and we're getting a bit of a reaction. But would I short this? No, not yet. Yeah, I would need more confirmation that this pair is ready to come lower. Yeah, for me to short this, Colin, I would need something like this to happen. Yeah, perhaps a retest of the high, and we get a bearish reaction, or even, you know, a breakdown in H1 structure. Then, you know, potentially we have room to this grey zone because it is very overbought. But yeah, I wouldn't start selling this now. I mean, let's even look at M15 structure. Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes I use M15 structure to enter a trade. Yeah, so maybe if we got a break of this M15 structure, then, you know, we could be a bit more aggressive with the trade and get in. But for me, not willing to short this yet. Okay, I need to see some reaction in this grey zone, and a strong reaction. I hope that helps. Fast money tech. Okay, I like fast money and technology. What's not to like about your name? And guys, yeah, so we're going to look at the okay, we're going to look at US dollar 30. Guys, before I start analyzing the Dow Jones, then if you're enjoying my analysis, then come join my channel. Yes, subscribe to the link. It is in the live chat, guys. Simply Forex. I give you my trade ideas every day. So yeah, come join us. The link is in the live chat. We look forward to seeing you. Right, day chart. Let's take a look. Okay, it's between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Yeah, so we've just finding ourselves in a bit of choppy price action. Yeah, a range, if you like. Yeah, we're in this choppy price action where price is just coming from this grey zone up to this grey zone. For me, it's pretty untradeable at the moment. Yeah, that is untradeable. What would I want to see? I would want to see, so yeah, as part of my channel, guys, I call this a box of indecision. And normally how I trade a box of indecision, so if you imagine a box of indecision, you have got buyers and sellers fighting to the death. Yeah, you've got buyers and sellers in there just fighting. No one's winning. Yeah, but one of them is going to get exhausted. Yeah, Ivan Drago wouldn't, but one of them buyers or sellers is going to get exhausted. All right, so let the market tell us when one of them is exhausted. And when I say exhausted, we are going to get a large red candle. That was meant to be a candle. I apologize profusely for this candle. So let's imagine you get a large red candle that looks like this. If you do, report this to your broker immediately, because that is a very unusual candle. But you get the gist. If we get a very strong bearish candle that comes out of this, out of this box of indecision and even breaks this grey zone, then I think we have room to the downside. Okay. Whereas if we get a break out of this box of indecision to the upside, I apologize for my candles. Let's make this an arrow. Yeah, but if we get a strong candle, you still have to bear in mind we have highs here. Yeah, and we cannot sell into those highs. So I would need a break of these last highs over here. And then potentially we could start buying this market. All right. It'll be interesting to see what this daily candle does today, because it's trying, you know, it's at the very base of this box. Yeah, let's see what happens with this today. But I need to see a winner. Yeah, buyers or sellers, I need a winner. There are no winners in here. Okay. All right. So yeah, I hope that helps you. Next one. What are we looking at? Any advice to newbie traders? Have patience, learn to sit on your hands, pick high probability trades, and get your money management down as soon as you can. Yeah, get your money management down as soon as you can. And as a newbie trader, you need a bit of screen time. You need to see how markets move, how price action reacts. So yeah, get some screen time in there as well, and trade very small. Yeah, I also believe you need skin in the game. So if you are a newbie trader, trade, you know, I would trade with money, but only very small amounts. A demo, I believe anyone can make money on a demo, because there's not a care in the world about the money. But yeah, you need skin in the game as well. Right, what else are we looking at here, guys? Okay, he would like to know, would I sell the US 30 on the 15-minute? Probably not. No. Yeah, because this last low here is the bottom of that box of indecision. Okay. So for me, yeah, so this is a good example of patience. Yeah, if we get this candle break these lows, yeah, break these lows, then potentially we can start looking for shorts, you know, firstly down to here, but potentially even longer. All right. But it has to be a daily candle break for me. Yeah, that candle has to break these lows. It's a daily box of indecision. I need a daily candle to break it. And then the following day, I would be shorting M15 structure all day. Yeah, but now I wouldn't. Yeah, I need to see that daily candle finish below these lows. Right. Which else? Samuel. Cicicello. How's it? How are you, my friend? Samuel, Euro US dollar. Okay, so let's take a look at Euro US dollar. So it's the same with a lot of US dollar pairs at the moment. All right. They're all pretty much identical. They are, let me remove this. Okay, they are all in a box of, sorry, they're all in an area of support or resistance. This grey box is clearly an area of support, yeah? It reacted here, here, and it's been reacting here, here. We thought potentially it might break, but this green candle, buyers again have pushed this back up, guys, yeah? There are buyers in this market pushing this up. However, you know, we are in a downtrend. Okay, we're in a downtrend. I mean, there's no getting away from it. We're in a downtrend, but this is holding here. I still think we have potentially a bit of room, you know, down to these lows here. All right, but not today because, yeah, like I say, guys, if we zoom in, these lows here are holding. Yeah, and this bullish candle says me buyers have entered the market. I think we could potentially push it back up to this blue line. And this is actually a target for this pair for me. So that's what we're seeing on the daily. Like I say, guys, look at all the time frames. Look at all the information you have given to you. Yeah, don't just trade on the 15-minute or the 4-hour. Look at all the time frames. Look at all the data and information it gives you. So what are we seeing here? So again, if I pull this grey candle out, there is a grey zone in here that's of interest to me. All right, this grey zone here. So it was acting as support. This was that break, and then that bullish candle pushed back in. And now potentially this grey zone could become support again at this level. And how it's looking currently, you know, it's looking like good support. Yeah, price is reacting here. Yeah, we've got, yeah, I encourage you to look at candlesticks, guys, and learn how to read candlesticks. But we've got this wick here, so that's pushed back up, and we've never broken this low. And now we're seeing a bullish candle form. Obviously, we've got another 3.5 hours, but yeah, we are definitely seeing some potential support here. Yeah, and like I say, guys, these grey zones I plot on my channel every day. So if you want to receive them, join my channel. The link is in the live chat. So guys, let's drop down to the H1. What do I want to see? I want to see this. Yeah, I want to see, so price is in a downtrend. All right, and we've got to this, you know, this level here where price has reacted. We're not making lower lows. So this area here, this very area here, becomes of real importance to me. Yeah, not more important than my family, but important. Okay, so what do I want to see? You've guessed it. I want to see a break of this level. Yeah, because that's the last, potentially the last H1 low, sorry, last H1 high, a retest, and then I think we can take price back up to this last high here. Yeah, this would be my first target. This is where I close 80%, and then I let 20% run. All right, guys. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, a lot of the dollar majors are at very interesting levels now. Let's see how they react at these levels, and see if we can get in on them. But yeah, very interesting levels, guys. Okay, so yeah, guys, unfortunately, I am out of time. Okay, so it just leaves me to thank you guys. Like I say, if you've enjoyed my analysis and would like to receive it every day, then join the channel. The link is in the live chat. Thanks for your time, guys, and I will see you again next Tuesday. See you later.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And remember, if you open a $1,000 or more trading account with ACAP, you'll receive a free copy of the Edge Finder. Click the link in the description below to find out more. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.